Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Sunday. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, the Mad Hatter from the hashtag SBTVNation. Sitting here talking to my boy, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Mr. Dr. Dan. What's up, buddy? How are you?
What's up, man? What's up, man?
Oh, man.
On the money line plays that I gave out, we went 500. But on a personal note, yeah, we didn't hit the 3-team parlay. I wish we could hit those every week. But what about my Philly science experiment, kid?
Dude, I don't know, man. You're little. The Phillies, man, just came out and embarrassed the Cubs, man. My God.
Oh, I know. And then, you got Hamels, who, some poor team is going to go out there and trade for him. That's the second most pitches he's ever thrown. Is going to go out there and blow his elbow out in the very first start for that other team. That's just the way baseball works.
I know. No hitter, man. No hitter. So big ups to Cole Hamels for making that happen after he's been absolutely dreadful before that kid.
Oh, I know, and I just, like I said, it was a science experiment. I told y'all don't follow me on it, but I just had that gut feeling on that game yesterday that Hamels was going to do something good. I think, he realized probably last start in a Phillies uniform, so yeah, he's been there forever.
Definitely, man. And Cueto came to form, too, yesterday. I did not take him, but, hey, you know what? Congratulations to him for having a stellar game yesterday, and that's probably his last pitching matchup in a Reds uniform as well.
I would say so. I mean, I didn't even expect him to start yesterday because I don't know if you saw this, but for those of you guys who have, either MLB Network or, the packages or whatever, they had the guy who's starting today for the Reds, they had him long tossing and throwing at the same time Cueto was, because they actually expected him to be scratched yesterday due to the trade. So he got one last start, but he's definitely out of there. He's going to be going somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, man. And dude, the Twins had a 5-0 lead, man, and ended up losing to the New York Yankees with A-Rod's 3 home runs, man.
Yeah,
crazy, right?
I mean, the Twins were up the whole game.
Oh, dude, 5-0 right out the gate.
5-0 right out the gate, and then you see it dwindle, and then you're like, all right, it's 5-4. They're going into the 9. Oops.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The Yankees are a legit team. For you to be able to for you to be able to go in, get down 5 runs early. I mean, we all said that was going to happen. Just didn't expect the Twins to kind of fold like they did. It's going to be interesting to watch. Maybe the Twins start falling off a little bit. Maybe their flaws become exposed. I expect the Yankees to make a trade for something somewhere. So we'll see.
They should get Aroldis Chapman, man.
They don't need. I mean, their bullpen is really solid.
Yeah.
I mean, with Miller and Betances. I think I think they'll look for infield help.
Okay.
I think they'll look for someone to put, at second base. I don't know where else you really look for them, but somewhere. I mean, I think it's crazy as it sounds, because I don't know if they're going to get a top-line pitcher. I mean, that would be the obvious area of need, but you haven't heard them really link to anybody.
Sure, man. Well, now they're linking Cueto to the Kansas City Royals, man.
Yeah, and that is something the Royals really need, because, I mean, obviously they were sending Ventura down to the minors until, the Vargas injury, and, then they immediately recalled him. They need a number one guy. If they can go out there and get Cueto, they're obviously, depending on what the Dodgers go out and do, but they would be the number one favorite.
Oh, absolutely, man. And, especially with the Houston Astros picking up the likes of, what's his face there, Scott Kazmir. You know what I'm saying?
They have the 2 top ERA guys in the American League on their team.
Yeah. So, hey, it is what it is, man, and we will keep it moving. And, Dan, I'd like to jump right into the card today, brother.
Let's do it, man.
All right, man. Sounds good. So, looking at this, guys, we're not going to waste any time today, man, because we got to jump right into this. Dude, the Chicago White Sox coming into the Cleveland Indians. How about the White Sox, man? Where did this come from, Dan?
I don't know, man. I mean, you expect Chris Sale to just be on point, do his thing, but that offense, that's why I had that run line yesterday. It's Chris Sale.
I know, man.
And,
I mean,
hey, it's just, you know what it is, too? It's like, you said it yesterday. It's like the Indians are getting too much respect. I mean, they're just garbage.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. Hey, big ups to Double D out there. Got Jay Rich the Mayor. Got Benjamin Rowe. I got Mario Martinez. I got C. Rodriguez Jr. My man Marlon's got a hell of a lot of games today. Hey, brother, I wish you the best of luck with those. Got Randomly Unpredictable. I got JP. What's up? It's Woots all the way in Australia. Yeah, man, the Twins last night. I know. Let's see. Total Sports Ed. Justin Hernandez. Spot Bet. Larry. Juco. I want to give a special shout-out to the entire Fake fam as well. Got, let's see, who else? Mo Diggs, Heavy, 365, Ciroc King J, and the list goes on and on. So, Dan, let's continue to do this.
Yeah.
Vegas Girl 92661 as well. With this game here, Cleveland minus 170, dude. It's like they keep giving the juice, except for yesterday, obviously, with Chris Sale. But
so here's going to be, and this, a lot of people might think of this as crazy. I'm hitting this over pretty heavy.
The over 7.5, huh?
7.5, man. I expect 9 or 10 runs to be scored in this game. Look, Salazar, as of late, he had that one really good start against Oakland, but that was in the middle of being at Pittsburgh. He gave up 5 earned in 4 2/3. At Milwaukee, he still gave up 3 earned in 6 innings. So he gets hit around a little bit. Carlos Rodon. I mean, again, he had a good start at Chicago, but he got hit around by Baltimore and then got rocked by St. Louis his last time out. His last 7, he's got a 5.80 ERA.
Wow.
So at 7.5, I'm jumping on this over here.
Really? I mean, especially the way the White Sox been hitting the ball, man. 24 runs in 3 games, Stan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I expect it to keep going.
Dude, that was one of the worst offenses in baseball going up till this series. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I just feel like every team has whatever you do really poorly, you'll have at some point over the season,
of course,
streak where you're like, wait, what the hell is going on? Like, hey, the Mets just scored 15 runs yesterday. Or whatever.
Oh, I know. Big ups to you for calling the Mets yesterday as well, man. With the with that pitcher for the Dodgers, man. Unbelievable.
Scrubby McGee walking out there, that's got to be the worst feeling. I mean, you come up and you're like, all right, well, it's my first start, but I had the worst offensive team in like the history of baseball.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You get your ass just handed to you. It's got to be like the most terrible feeling. Like everybody's looking at you like, you got beer league softball pitchers that are thinking they can go out there and shut out the Mets.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Big ups to OJFB, Jay Cast, who's been ripping up the soccer, and my man Mike as well. What's up, guys? The next one we have on the ticket, we got the Baltimore Orioles at the Tampa Bay Rays. And dude, Baltimore finally decided to get out of their own way yesterday, Dan. And finally win a game and cover a run line for once in their lives. My God, it's been terrible, man, the last couple of weeks. Baltimore has YN Chen on the mound, and Tampa Bay has Matt Moore. Baltimore minus 130 with an under-over of 7. Dude, I see Chen pitch like every other day.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but he stays in a constant. Like he's been over his last 3, he's been pretty mediocre.
Yep.
3 earned, 2 earned, and 2 earned, but at Minnesota versus Washington and at the Yankees, that's not bad. Over his last 7 as a whole, he's 3-2 with a 2.42 and a 108 WHIP. Matt Moore has been on the opposite end of the spectrum. 4 starts this year, 1-1 with a 7.23.
Wow.
He hasn't gone past 5 innings in any of his last 3 starts. And remember, his last time out, he went 4 2/3 and got rocked around by the Phillies.
Gotcha.
So, that being said, I'm actually all over Baltimore here today.
You are, huh? Minus 130?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. 2 games under 500. I mean, the Rays, damn well they can't hit the ball. I mean, 3.53 runs a game is pretty damn bad.
Right.
It's almost as bad as the Mets.
I expect 10 to just shut them down today, really.
Okay. All right. I mean, let's see. Baltimore 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games, and Tampa Bay 7-16 in their last 23. Wow, they really fell off, huh?
Oh, just
brutal, man.
Brutal offense. And, their pitching isn't even close to as deep. I'm surprised they're not trying to sell some of this pitching.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And I know they're young and cheap, but you would think you'd get some good prospects back. Kind of surprises me. I don't know. Maybe they think they're still in it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they are not. That's for sure. I'd like to it probably doesn't pay anything, but I'd love to bet the field versus Tampa Bay because I can't stand them. You know what I mean? But Baltimore getting a job done here, man. You might be onto something here, Dan. I think the offense may come to life at some point here. So, wow, man, are you all right over there?
Yeah, I just swallowed some coffee down the wrong
Oh, damn. All right.
So to wake up, man. It was a rough night last night.
Oh, it sounds like it, brother. But for me, it was kind of a rough night, but I stuck to beer. And when I stick to beer, I'm all right the next day. It's when I start getting into the vodka. That's when I really start having headaches the following day, bro.
Yeah. See, I made the mistake of mixing my liquors. My brother came over with, a real nice bottle of bourbon, so we were drinking that for a little bit. And then I was just I was actually drinking some vodka.
Nice.
So later, that just didn't catch up to me too nicely.
Dan is the ultimate party animal, guys. he could outdo all of us, man. Put it that way. Next one we have on the ticket, we got a hell of a pitching matchup, which I'd like to figure out what the weather's going to do out here, man. It's kind of like raining and sunny and raining and sunny. So we got the L.A. Dodgers coming into the New York Mets. Let's see. L.A. Zach Greinke versus the New York Mets Jacob deGrom. Kid, over 6.
I see no weather for this. Except that the wind actually could be blowing out to left field at 15 miles per hour.
Okay, interesting.
In Citi Field, look, this is the crazy thing. I mean, Citi Field, much like Shea Stadium is not an easy park to hit in. A little easier than Citi Field, but when you got that wind that blows out there, you can see some things. Look, I know you got Greinke on this crazy streak.
Yep.
That being said, I got to go with the Mets today.
Really?
Here's why.
Wow.
Greinke's on this streak, but he's now 2 days off his, schedule. Right?
Yep.
He flew all the way back for the birth of his kid. He was supposed to start Friday.
Yep.
So he flew all the way back to L.A., birth of his kid. Flew all the way back to New York. So he's been on the plane for 15 hours in the last couple days. Going back and forth coast to coast, off his routine, off his schedule, probably on very little sleep. And I think the Mets, after feeling, what they did yesterday, you have a rookie go 4 for 4. You see Kelly Johnson make an immediate impact into the lineup. I think deGrom has a great game today again, and the Mets win a tight one.
Really? What about that total of 6, Dan?
I actually like the over.
Wow, interesting, man. That's definitely out of the norm. That's for sure, man. So. Hey, man, I wish you the best of luck with that. That's a crazy matchup right there. I mean, I totally understand it, man. I was listening to Crush the Bookie last night. He said that, in his opinion, and I agree with him, that, they flew in, they're flying in Greinke all the way from L.A., but they have Oakland coming into town like their next series, so why not just keep them home for the one game? You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and I really think, look, pitchers are creatures of extreme habit. And, on top of all the emotion and everything you're going through, it's your first kid. And then, your wife is like, get back here.
Yeah, right.
And the fact that he even left for New York in the first place was kind of crazy. They should have kept him back at least to see what happened. And then, fly him out afterwards. But, man, I think that's got to affect anybody. I mean, you guys who are Vegas junkies, who are, maybe back and forth between New York and Vegas, you do a circuit like that, you're dead coming back.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not as extreme for these players. I mean, they're getting on, private airplanes and all that, not having to wait for their luggage and, not getting nasty peanuts on the plane and all that,
I hear you, but you're still in the air, for 6 to 7 hours. that's still kind of brutal.
I got it. Well, the next one we have on the ticket is the Washington Nasties at the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Washington was Joe Ross. Haven't seen him yet, Dan. Versus Garrett Cole. Pittsburgh minus 175 with an under-over of 7 runs. Interesting matchup here, Garrett Cole. I haven't seen Joe Ross. Talk to me about this guy.
Yeah, man. Look, I am having a really hard time understanding this because Joe Ross is, he's young. But he's 2-2 with a 2.70. Okay. His last 3 starts at Milwaukee, 8 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned. Pittsburgh, 7 1/3, 6 hits, only 1 earned. And then at the Mets, 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned. He's been real good. This is, look, I know Garrett Cole has been phenomenal, but as of late, look, Cleveland, 5 hits, 3 earned. St. Louis, 6 hits, 2 earned. That was home games. And he managed to win both of those, but, he still gave up some runs.
Yep.
Part of me feels like I have to go with the Nationals here.
Wow, you're loving the doggies today, brother.
They're just speaking to me. Plus 157. Look, I had a misread on that game yesterday. The Nationals offense, and the thing with the Nationals offense is like when they wake up, they kind of wake up for a few games in a row.
Yep.
Look, I would love nothing more for the Nationals to lose. I just don't think it's going to happen. I actually think they take this game, and plus 157, I feel real good about that.
Very interesting, Dan. Hey, I wish you the best of luck with that one as well. I haven't found anything that's tickled my fancy yet, but, there are 11 more games to go through. And big ups to Tip Talker. I've got, Snoopy Bets, the Direct Sports Solutions, and Total Sports Edge says he agrees with you with the Mets today, brother.
Right on.
All right, sounds good. So we will keep it moving to the next game on the ticket, which is the Houston Astros coming into the Kansas City Royals. Houston has Mr. Dallas Keuchel, and K. Sizzle has Yordano Ventura. Let's see. The Houston Astros minus 118 with an under-over of 7.5 runs, kid. You love your boy
Dallas. Who just, just goes out there and gets it done. But look, Ventura, this game's really about him. Like I said, dude has been a major meltdown mode lately. I'm all over Houston here because of that.
Wow, interesting.
His last 7, he's 2-4 with a 5 ERA. He's coming off 2 home starts in a row where he got blown up. And one was against Tampa Bay. He only lasted 5 innings. He gave 4 hits, 3 earned, walked 3. His last start out at home against Pittsburgh only went 4 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned. And the start before that at St. Louis, 3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned. So, he must be completely lost. And now he's going up against Keuchel, who, the 2 starts previous to the last one weren't great on the road at Cleveland and at Tampa Bay. But he just came out and absolutely dominated the Rangers last time out. 7 innings, he had the 13 Ks. I'm all over Houston here.
All right, man. So I don't know if I like that one there, just because of the Houston offense being so explosive at times. You know what I mean? It just kind of bothers me a little bit. But hey, man,
today, man, Ventura's going to get rocked.
Okay, so what do you think about an over in that game?
So at 7.5, I really like it.
Wow. Okay, man.
I might be on both of that.
Okay.
I've just been looking at this game since yesterday, and I couldn't believe that Keuchel Ventura, even though it is on the road, minus 125. That seemed a little low for him for me.
Gotcha. Got a couple of my boys up from Las Vegas on the line today. Got Swicat Sides and Lex Ka Wins. Was awesome partying with you guys out in Las Vegas, man. The next one we have on the ticket, we got the New York Stanks coming into the Minnesota Twins, kid. Minnesota Twins were up 5-0, as we alluded to yesterday, and lost the game 8-5 with A-Rod's 3 home runs. New York Yankees have Nathan Eovaldi. Minnesota has Kyle Gibson. New York Yanks minus 120 with an under-over of 8, Dan.
I am just gonna stay away from this game.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one, man. I mean, especially, after when I notice that teams lose heartbreaker games like that, they seem to like come out slow the next game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, you got Eovaldi, who again, he's another one of these guys that, I mean, he's 9-2, but he's got a 4.43. He's pretty consistently mediocre. Somehow in his last 7, he's 4-1, but with a 5.03.
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of a joke. A lot better at home, like most of the Twins pitchers. Last 7, he's 4-3, but with a 3.09. It's almost 2 full earned runs better. That's why this game just doesn't make sense to play it. I mean, I lean actually the over on this game, but I'm not going to touch anything about it.
Gotcha, man. Minnesota 2-5 straight up in the last 7 games, but they are 4-1 in their last 5 at home. And the Yankees are playing pretty good baseball, man. 5-1 in the last 6 games, dude. Very interesting there, man. Let's move over to the next one because I'm not taking that game either, Dan. I got to be honest with you. So let's move over to the next one and see what we got on the ticket. We've got, Atlanta at St. Louis. Atlanta, Matt Wisler. St. Louis has Michael Wacha. St. Louis minus 240. 240 juice. Wow. Nice. Let's see here. That's a lot, man. I know Walker's been pretty decent, man.
I mean, he's been better than decent. But, dude, science experiment alert.
Uh-oh.
I'm on the tomahawk chop.
What are you getting? Plus 220 juice? Something like that? What do you got? 200.
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, depending on where. But no, like right around plus 200. Right around plus 200 on a money line. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. That's silly. Especially when the guy that you're facing hasn't been a slouch. I mean, he's 4-1. I know he's got a 3.6 ERA, but they've won behind him, which is crazy. They don't win. They don't put up runs behind anybody.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
They have one behind this guy. And look, I know that Wacha is dominant, but his last 2 starts, he's given up 5 runs in each of them. Really? Against the Cubs and the White Sox.
Oh, and that doesn't say much going against the Cubs. My God.
Right, and I know the White Sox are on this run now, but come on, it's still the White Sox offense. So, I just sit back and I'm like, I don't see any reason why Wacha should be giving this much juice. And look, guys, again, please don't feel the need to come here and jump on my bandwagon. I know it worked out for the Phils yesterday, but look, at plus 200, I gotta take the tomahawk chop here.
Get 1.5, man. Get for even money.
Yeah, I mean,
St. Lucia doesn't like that. I mean, dude, it's like they're up or down with their bats, man. I mean, 1-0 victory yesterday.
No, I hear you, but I'm just gonna stick with it at the plus 200.
All right, I got you, man. Big ups to the pick that's out there. Let's see, No Request is out there as well. Good morning to you guys. And my man Marlon is telling me that Gibson is 8-7 with a 3.19 ERA and is 1-2 with a 10.95 ERA versus the New York Yankees.
Yeah, so like I said, I lean the over on that game, but I'm just not going to touch it either way.
All right. The next one we have on the ticket, we got the Philadelphia Phillies trying to sweep the Chicago Cubs, man. I can't believe I'm saying all those in one sentence, man. Philadelphia Phillies have Aaron Nola on the mound, who's a right-hander, and the Chicago Cubs have Jason Hamill. Dude, the Cubs minus 200 again, bro. What the hell is going on with the odds makers?
Yeah,
teams, man.
I mean, this time I guess I don't know. I mean, this kid Nola has had 1 start, and granted, it was against the Rays. You know, he gave up 5 hits and only an earned run, struck out 6. You know, he's supposed to be like the real deal. I mean, the real deal, but the Phillies still managed to lose, even though that was his line. You know, Jason Hamill, as of late, has been really, really good. I mean, 2 earned at home against Miami. Then he had that 1 inning, I think, a relief appearance against St. Louis, but shut him down. You know, I don't know, man. I'm not touching. I'm just not going to touch it.
Yeah, tough one, man. Yeah, I mean, minus 200.
I think the Cubs win, but
Cubs have been terrible, dude.
Terrible,
man. And the Philadelphia Phillies, dude, in their last 8 games, 7-1.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Hey, you know what? What are they? Let's see, 27 games under 500, dude. Yikes!
I know. I can't. I mean, look. I saw the game yesterday because you had Hamels on the mound, and like I thought Hamels would have not a no hitter, obviously, but I thought he'd have a real good game. And then, man, you know, this is crazy for the Cubs to be at minus 220.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I know. I don't think they have any business doing it anymore, man. They're only 6 games over 500, man. You know what I'm saying?
But, you know, I think a lot of people are on that fade the Phils, you know, at anything.
Yeah.
At anything. So.
Right. You're right. I get it. So the next one we have on a ticket, let me take a look here, is the Texas Rangers at the LA Angels. They've been surprising the Angels, man. They won the last 2 games. Texas, Nick Martinez. LA has Andrew Heaney. LA minus 200 with an under-over of 8 runs, Dan. Wow, a lot of thick lines, man. A couple of minus 200s right in a row.
I know. You know, this is another one that I really don't understand. I mean, Martinez hasn't been bad enough. I mean, you know, he's 5-5 with a 3.92. I understand that Heaney is. I mean, he's 4-0 with a 1.57, but this is just. I don't know, man. It's just a little crazy to see that line out there for this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Heaney's ERA and his record are pretty dope, man, believe it or not. But Texas
I know, and Nick Martinez has been pretty bad as of late. But
yep.
I don't know.
I don't think the LA Angels lose tonight, man.
I really don't think they do. But part of me just is stay away from this game.
Got the idea, man. I got the idea. So let me see what the next game is on a ticket, man. Just let me look real quick at some trends with the LA Angels. 17-6 in their last 23 games, kid, and 10-4 in the last 14 at home. But they have dropped a couple of games in a row now. And my boy Ben Rowe is telling me if you get swept by the worst team in baseball, you are the worst team in baseball. I agree, man. I agree. It's almost like that to be the man, you got to beat the man kind of thing, but it's the opposite there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. We got Oakland A's at the San Francisco Giants, man. Oakland with Kendall Graveman on the mound, and San Francisco with Tim Hudson. San Fran minus 140 with an under-over of 7.5 runs. And the San Francisco Giants, probably one of the hottest teams in baseball, man. 10-1 in their last 11 games.
Oh, I know. And, you know, I wish I'd popped on that under yesterday. I was thinking about it. But, you know, what a great pitching matchup. And then, you know, the Giants have been real dope. I mean, but then you got Tim Hudson coming in today.
Yep.
And Tim Hudson has not been real dope.
Yeah, I know. I know you're not a big fan of Hudson.
No, I really dislike Tim Hudson. But then you have, you know, Graveman, who was amazing, and then his last 2 starts, he got blown up at Cleveland, then at home against Toronto. So, man, I'm going to stay far, far, far away from this game because I don't think Hudson in any universe can give up minus 150.
Got it. Okay. All right. I'm seeing 140 over here, but I totally get it, man.
Yeah, I mean, even at 140, look, I know the Giants have been on an amazing run, but this is their probably the weakest part of their rotation, And I know that the starter of, I know Graveman has been pretty bad his last 2 starts, but he still can throw the ball. So that, that worries me.
All right, gotcha, man. Next one we have on a ticket, we have the Milwaukee Brewers coming into the Arizona Diamondbacks. Milwaukee Brewers, dude, Jungmann had a great game.
He did.
He had a great game, and they just could not give him the run support yesterday, man. So, hey, you know what? These things happen sometimes. We should have probably taken a look at the team total under for the Arizona Diamondbacks yesterday. But, whatever. It is what it is. Milwaukee, Matt Garza. Arizona has Jeremy Hellickson. Arizona minus 122 with an under-over of 8.5. What you got there, brother?
God. I mean, it's Garza. He's garbage. And it's Hellickson, who's been very, very mediocre. I mean, he's 6-6 to the 4.87. Garza's 5-10 with a 5.23. I don't want anything to do with this game. The over's 8.5. But after seeing what I saw yesterday, I know 2 completely different pitchers. The offense is just look bad right now. I'm going to stay away from this completely.
Really?
Oh, yeah, completely.
I'm looking at 8.5 runs. I'm kind of feeling the over. I got to be honest with you. I think you'll see a lot of runs in this game.
That's the only, very, very small lead, but to me, it's like 51%.
Yeah, I got you. 51%. I love it. Last 4 out of 6 games between these two teams have gone over, and I'm looking at the pitchers' respective ERAs. Matt Garza with a over 5.5, and Hellickson is close to 5. And I do like what Arizona does with their bats from time to time. I mean, it's been a little shaky, but over the course of the year, 4.36 runs a game. And the Milwaukee Brewers, I mean, they do know how to hit the ball, man. Just yesterday, for some reason, it's just, that's baseball, though. That's what happens. You just got to kind of pick your spots sometimes. Right. I like the over here. I would like it better at 8 runs, but we'll keep it moving and see what we can get later on as this game comes. It's a 4:10 Eastern Standard Time start, guys. So the next one we have on the ticket, we got 4 more. We got Cincinnati at Colorado. Cincinnati with Mike Lorenzen. Colorado with Kyle Kendrick. Colorado minus 115, and I don't have a total yet here, Dan. Probably somewhere along 10.5 to 11.
Yeah, I have 11 on my book of choice.
Makes sense.
I got to go with the Reds here.
The Reds, huh?
Just based on the fact that Kendrick is 3-11. 3-11 with a 6.12. He finds ways to lose games.
Yeah, right.
I don't normally like taking games in Colorado, especially not against the Rockies. But I think that Lorenzen will do enough to keep the team in it, and that, they go ahead and they knock around Kendrick, like a redheaded stepchild like everybody else does.
I got you, man. Hey, it was pretty impressive that Cueto shut them out yesterday in their building.
Yeah, it's so hard to get everything working in Colorado. And when you can get all your pitches working, hey, you got a shot, and that's amazing.
Yeah, definitely, man. The only thing that scares me about your play here, Dan, is that Cincinnati in Colorado in their last 25 games going back a few years, 7-18 in the last 25.
It's a new day.
It's a new day, man.
It's a new day. But no, I think, the Rockies are just really, really piss poor. Cincinnati just is still a little better than them with their current lineup, without anybody being traded. And like I said, I think Lorenzen gets through enough, gets enough done. I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. Obviously, 11. I actually do lean the over, but I'm just going to roll Cincinnati.
Okay. Got a lot of overplays, man, you're kind of alluding to. So we'll see, man.
Yeah,
maybe a lot of fireworks going on today.
A little too high. 10.5, I'd probably pop on it.
Yep. Gotcha. All right, man. So the next one we have on a ticket, let me take a look, is Miami Marlins at the San Diego Padres. Dude, I don't know about the Padres this year, man. I know you're keeping hope alive with them, brother, but I just don't see it, man. Miami, Matt Latos. San Diego has Mr. Despaigne on the mound. Pretty much even money all across the board with an under-over of 7 runs. It's very strange to see Miami as even money, dude. against anybody on the road. I mean, they got beat up by the Phillies, dude. So, I mean, what's that tell you? San Diego's getting no respect in this game whatsoever, man. Looking at this, I mean, Despaigne just does not get the run support at all.
Well, I mean, he's 3-7, but come on, he has a 4.98 ERA. I mean,
yeah,
basically 5. Yeah. So you're right, he doesn't get any run support, but he's also pretty garbage. And then Latos, overall has been pretty bad, but his last 3 starts, home against San Francisco, 2 earned, at Chicago, only an earned run, and then he shut out the Diamondbacks at Arizona, which, is never easy to do. So I get why the line is where it is. I mean, Despaigne, in his last 3 starts, he only went 2 innings in that start at Texas. But then the next start at home against the Giants, 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned. I kind of like the Marlins here. I don't think I'm going to put my money on it, but
wow,
I actually like the Marlins here in this spot.
Interesting, man. That's pretty tough to say when they're 5-1 in the last 6 on the road. I get it. When playing San Diego, 5-17 in their last 22 games on the road as well. But it is Major League Baseball, man. They are professional athletes, and at some point, Dan, they do have to win some games here.
Yeah, I mean, and they have the better pitcher on the mound today. It's the offenses that always scare you, but San Diego's no juggernaut either.
Definitely not, man. Definitely not. So we will have the conversation as that goes. Let me just take a look at what San Diego's doing. They're 7-3 in their last 10 games, man, surprisingly. So we'll keep it moving. They did have that 4-game winning streak a couple of days ago. So we'll see what happens. We got 2 more on the ticket, Dan. Big ups to you for calling the over in the Toronto game yesterday. And my boy Vince Parker had the team total over. He went ham on it. And he was able to cash on that. So big ups to him. He's going to be coming on the show shortly. We will have the conversation on when he's coming on. But Toronto's coming into Seattle at 4:10 start. Toronto with Mark Burley on the mound. Seattle with Tawan Walker. Toronto minus 115 with an under-over of 7.5 runs. Interesting game, man. Toronto 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games. And let's see, Seattle 4-2 in the last 6 when playing Toronto. Huh.
Hey, are the Mariners putting it together?
I don't think so, Dan. They're 8 games under 500. Dude, being in the AL West there, man. I mean, you got the Angels and the Astros there, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got to catch them and the Twins to even get close. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. I know. I don't think they'll catch anybody, but I think they might finish respectable. At this point.
What's respectable? 500?
Yeah, around 500.
Okay.
Around 500, which is nowhere what they hope to be. But,
yeah, right.
Part of me also hears that there's still a chance that Seattle and Texas, for whatever reason, could be buyers.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that, which is like crazy to me. But, if they're going from the mindset that they're going to try and find a guy who is signed for a few years at like reasonable value, I get it because, hey, I mean, if you can get that guy, if you think you're a contender, maybe not this year, but next, then it makes sense. But yeah, I've heard that rumor.
Wow. Very interesting, man. Hey, maybe they think they're still in it, dude.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, when you have a division, division rival like the Astros and the Angels, you do got to play them a bunch of times still.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you win a couple of series there, you're in pretty good shape. You put yourself right back in it, man. So I just don't know if they can catch him, dude. I just don't.
No, it's doubtful. I mean, if anything, they'll be looking at like trying desperately if they have a big run to get to like that second wild card.
Yeah, right. I mean, 3.60 runs a game, man. They're pretty bad offensively.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about how bad they were they've been a lot better as of late. Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, Cano's finally started to hit, which is the catalyst for the whole offense. So, as far as today's game goes, I have no idea. I mean, I actually lean Toronto here.
Yeah, Toronto. Go ahead.
I lean Toronto, but I'm also going to grab the over at 7.5. That's the play on the game. I mean, Taijuan Walker in his last 3 starts has been brutal. 2 against Detroit, he gave up 5 earned in each of those. And then in the middle, he faced the Angels at home, 7 hits and 6 earned in 5 innings. Burley, remember, we always say this, he wins games, but I mean, he has given up runs. But, in his last 7, he's 4-1. The 7.5 to go over here, it's going to be close, but I think that, Toronto and, Toronto and the over is the play.
Okay, sounds good, man. I remember Taijuan Walker pitching against the Toronto Blue Jays when I was away. I was actually in Long Island with my bride, and I did bet this game, and, I'm looking at it here, Taijuan Walker versus Toronto. I remember he, no-hit him for, 3 or 4 innings, Dan. And then all of a sudden, Toronto went kind of nuts on him. He ended up pitching 5 2/3 innings with 6 hits and 4 earned runs. So, that ended up happening the 5th inning. They put up a 4 spot on him. Toronto ended up winning that game 8-2. So you don't think anything different here today?
No. I mean, I don't see it. I know a lot of people are looking at Taijuan Walker's record. His last 7, he is 4-1 with a 4.54.
Yep.
But, he's in his last 3, he's 0-1. He has 2 no decisions, and he gave up 5 earned in each of those. So like I said, I expect this game to be a 6-3, 7-2 type game. Toronto wins. That's just how I see it.
All right, man. I got you. And the odds are pretty favorable too, -115. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
All right, final game we got on the ticket is Sunday Night Baseball. We got the Detroit Tigers at the Boston Red Sox. What a nasty game.
Disgusting Sunday Night Baseball game.
Really? Why wouldn't they put, Astros Royals on or something?
I don't know. Maybe, they're just sick of getting crushed by, Game of Thrones or something, People, I mean, dude, this game is so bad, though, I would go back and watch, a replay of something, a rerun of something, over watching this game. I mean, you got New York, Minnesota tonight. Today. You got Houston, Kansas City. You got Washington, Pittsburgh. Let me ask you this, kid. Would you rather watch this game or would you rather watch even Mets Dodgers with DeGrom?
Oh, I would. All day long. I'd rather watch Greinke versus DeGrom.
Right. I'm saying your baseball, move a game around. I mean, I would rather watch Cincinnati at Colorado and hope, that Colorado, the ball's flying around Coors Field a madman. It's at least it's entertaining. But to put this game on is a disgrace. And I mean, you got nothing else. Nothing else. You're going up against baseball, and you want to showcase Detroit at Boston because of the name recognition. But those teams have been garbage, and people are going to get a garbage game tonight. So for that, I'm not even betting on it. I'm not going to watch it. Both these teams are garbage. Both pitchers can get blown up at any time.
Yep.
There's a reason why the over is 9.5. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I'm not going to touch it.
Got it, man. Got it. So taking a look at this real quick, Detroit and Boston. Boston -145, over of 9.5 runs. Dude, that's a very high total for a regular game. Boston 1-9 in their last 10 games, guys. Oh, man, terrible. And 6-3 in their last 9 games at home. Detroit is 4-8 in their last 12 as well, and the total's gone over in 18 of the last 25 Detroit games as well. Dan, 9.5 is a lot of runs. I know Shane.
It's a lot.
I know Shane Green and Rodriguez here are booty, but I mean, damn, that's just a lot of runs, man. The bookmakers are trying to get caught up with these overs that keep happening between these two teams. You know what I'm saying? So, these teams total, the Detroit Tigers bullpen has just been awful. So
awful.
I think we're gonna,
awful, but it really is a joke.
Yes.
I hate to keep harping on it, but man, I just can't believe this is a Sunday night game, especially with these two bum pitchers on the mound. But whatever, I'll enjoy my baseball early.
Hey, big shout out to the Queen of Odds. It's her birthday today, guys. So wish her a happy birthday out there, and I'm sure that would make her day. I just found that out. So big ups to Shy Picks out there, Philly Picks is out there, and G Rose as well. So Dan, 15 games in record time, I think, today.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Not
I can't
bad.
believe it. It's like 10 to 11,
Not
man.
bad at all, man. Not bad at all. So I do have a very busy day, so it actually works out very well for me. But, you know, when I look at these games, man, I don't really love anything today, Dan.
Oh, there's a lot to love.
I know. Of course you love him. But for me, I mean, I'm looking at I think they're mostly just watchers and system plays for me. Looking at this, let me see. I may end up fading my Milwaukee Brewers, and I have gotten my money back, Dan. That is a free future now if they decide to go on like a 50-game winning streak. that is now. So what I did on my spreadsheet is, all my futures that I have not covered yet as far as fading are red, and the other ones are green that I've covered, and Milwaukee has journeyed into the green side. So I'm pretty happy about that, and that gives me more money to put on some of the hotter teams in baseball. So
nice,
we will go from there. Yeah, definitely, man. So the only thing I'm really interested in possibly taking a look at is the over in that game, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. But
all right,
we'll see what happens with that.
Well,
we'll see
I got 9 plays.
You got 9 plays, man. All right, Dan. So why don't you give them to us, man? Let's see what you got as far as your 9 plays are concerned.
The first one. Remember the caveat: this is a complete science experiment play, and that's the Braves at plus 197. I got the Orioles at minus 127. We got the White Sox Indians an over of 7. It dropped from 7.5 to 7, guys, so I locked it in there.
Wow, nice.
Got the Reds at plus 102. The Astros at minus 116. The Mets at plus 119. Blue Jays Seattle over 7.5. Also going with, obviously, the Blue Jays minus 118. And the Washington Nationals at plus 152.
All right,
so
sounds good.
That is what I'm rolling with. And then an absolute Sunday fun day parlay. Braves, Mets, Nationals. It's like, you put $5 on that, you win 100. So have fun.
All right, sounds good, man. Big ups to my man, Direct Sports Solution, that sent me some umpire stats today. So I just retweeted that for you, brother. So best of luck with that. Hopefully you cash with these umps, kid, and we will go from there. So, Dan, that's pretty much it, man. We're done for the day. You got anything to shout out, anybody to plug before we get out of here or what?
Hey, man, I'm all good. I just hope we, cash these tickets today. And, hey, thanks again for another great weekend, man.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely. Guys, we are Sports Bettors TV. We are the biggest show in the world, having an absolute blast 7 days a week. Got a huge, huge week coming up this week, man. We start right off on Monday. Wednesday, we are doing our sports book review. We are going to give you all the goods and the bads of all the online books that we use. So this way you can, get an idea of what you're thinking with those. We got Freaky Fridays coming up, and we got some pretty stellar guests lined up this week as well, Dan. So with that said, guys, we are Sports Bettors TV, the biggest show in the world, having an absolute blast. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Do your own homework. Bet your own plays. Make all your dreams a reality and get that money. Take care.
Peace.